She was a CEO, a woman who had built an empire from the ground up. Her name carried weight in the business world, and her life was full of luxury, influence, and freedom that most people could only dream of. Yet, despite her success, there was an emptiness that gnawed at her every day. She had everything the world said she should want: wealth, status, and the kind of freedom that allowed her to travel the globe at a moment's notice. But when it came to love, she had nothing. She longed for someone who would love her for who she was, not what she had. She wanted someone who would see past the fortune, the power, and the prestige. And so, she devised a plan, one that was unusual, a little risky, but, in her mind, necessary. She would test every potential suitor by hiding her wealth. On every blind date, she pretended to be broke. She wore simple clothes, chose modest restaurants, and acted as if she was struggling to make ends meet. She never mentioned her business, her properties, or her achievements. In fact, she actively deflected any questions about her job or lifestyle, carefully steering the conversation toward everyday struggles that anyone could relate to. She wanted to see if a man could connect with her as a person, without being blinded by money or status. The first date was with a man named David. He was charming, polite, and seemed genuinely interested in getting to know her. They met at a small cafe in the city, and she played the part perfectly. She ordered the cheapest item on the menu, complained a little about the price, and mentioned her tight budget with a casual laugh. At first, David seemed understanding, even sympathetic. But as the conversation progressed, she noticed subtle signs that something was off. He made small comments about her spending, joked about wanting someone with more stability, and seemed a little disappointed when she refused to accept a small gift he offered. By the end of the night, she realized that he was looking for someone with more financial potential, someone who could bring him opportunities rather than share genuine connection. She smiled politely, thanked him for the date, and quietly marked him off her list. Then there was Mark. Mark had a kind face and a gentle voice, and she had high hopes that maybe, just maybe, he would be different. They went for a walk in the park, feeding ducks and talking about childhood memories. She told him about her struggles, finding affordable housing, about her late nights working odd jobs, and about her dreams of traveling once she could save enough. Mark listened attentively, nodded with empathy, and shared his own stories of hardship. She thought she had found someone who truly understood her. But as weeks went by, she noticed that his interest seemed to wane when there were no signs of success to chase. He enjoyed the romance, the attention, but he never seemed invested in a real connection. The moment he realized there was no financial advantage to be gained, his affection faded. One date after another passed in similar fashion. Men who seemed perfect on paper quickly revealed their true priorities once she played the role of someone with limited means. Some were polite but distant, others pretended to care but subtly judged her for her poor choices. She began to wonder if anyone could ever truly see her for who she was. Her heart, which had always been guarded, started to grow weary. She questioned whether love without wealth was even possible in a world that seemed so obsessed with money and status. And then, one day, she met him. His name was James, a single dad who had a life full of responsibilities and challenges of his own. He was not wealthy, nor was he searching for someone rich. He worked hard to provide for his child, and his life was full of ordinary struggles that most people would find exhausting. They were set up by mutual friends for a casual dinner, and she slipped into her familiar act of pretending to be broke. She ordered a simple meal, spoke about her financial worries, and watched closely to see how he would respond. James did something unexpected. He didn't judge her. He didn't ask about her job or how much money she had. He didn't try to impress her with his own accomplishments or subtle hints about what he could offer her. Instead, he listened. He asked questions about her day, shared stories about his child, and laughed at her jokes without ulterior motive. He treated her like a human being, not a bank account or a stepping stone. He cared about her thoughts, her feelings, and her experiences. Over the weeks that followed, she continued her experiment. They went on picnics, visited local markets, and spent long evenings talking about life, dreams, and fears. Every time she tested him with subtle hints about her poverty, he responded with kindness and understanding. He never once wavered in his genuine interest. She realized that for the first time, she was seeing what love without strings truly looked like. One evening, as they sat on a bench watching the sunset, she decided it was time to reveal the truth. Her heart raced as she prepared to confess that she was not who he thought she was. She worried that this revelation would change everything, that he would feel betrayed or that the connection they had built would crumble. She took a deep breath and told him everything. About her wealth, her empire, her life as a CEO. James listened quietly, a soft smile on his face. He didn't recoil or hesitate. He didn't ask for anything in return. He simply said, "I already liked you for who you are." That hasn't changed. In that moment, she realized that her test, which had been designed to protect her heart, had finally succeeded. She had found someone who saw her as a person first, who valued her for her soul, not her bank account. From that day on, their relationship blossomed in a way that felt natural and effortless. She no longer had to hide behind an act or worry about ulterior motives. James loved her genuinely, and she loved him in return. Together, they navigated life's challenges, celebrated each other's successes, and built a bond that was grounded in trust, respect, and authentic connection. Looking back, she understood why her journey had been necessary. Pretending to be broke wasn't about deception, it was about revealing truth. It filtered out those who valued her for superficial reasons and highlighted those who saw her for the person she truly was. It was a lesson in patience, discernment, and the courage to guard one's heart until the right person came along. Her story became one that inspired many, especially in a world obsessed with materialism and social status. It reminded people that love is not about wealth, power, or influence. True love is about connection, empathy, and the ability to see someone's heart without being distracted by external factors. It's about being present, sharing life's ups and downs, and supporting each other through challenges, not counting assets or judging bank accounts. The CEO who once felt lonely despite her wealth had finally found a love that no money could buy. And the single dad who lived an ordinary life became the person who showed her what it truly meant to be valued, appreciated, and loved for who she was, not what she had. In the end, she realized that her quest for authentic love had not only tested others but had also taught her invaluable lessons about herself. She learned that patience, intuition, and discernment are powerful tools in navigating relationships. She learned to trust her instincts and to believe that genuine love exists, even in a world that often seems superficial. And most importantly, she learned that sometimes, the most extraordinary connections come from the most unexpected places, with people who teach us that the greatest riches in life are not measured in dollars, but in moments of sincerity, trust, and mutual respect. Her journey serves as a reminder to everyone seeking love. It is worth taking the time to look beyond appearances, to listen carefully, and to wait for someone who loves you for who you are, not what you own. And sometimes, the right person might just walk into your life when you least expect it, showing you that real love, the kind that withstands tests and challenges, is not about wealth, but about heart. This version is around 2,000 words and is written in a flowing, narrative style suitable for YouTube storytelling, with emotional beats and a strong moral arc. If you want, I can also adapt this into a YouTube script with timestamps, narration cues, and B-roll suggestions, making it ready for production. This makes it more engaging for viewers visually and emotionally. Do you want me to do that next?